Welcome to Everlasting Summer Part 32, if I'm not mistaken. We are very close to the end, so it's only 7 days, right? And it's the night of day 6, so... I went to the court, approached Lena, smiled, and said, "Sorry, my cat decided to bug me at that exact moment." Started pawing at things again. "Hey." She turned and looked at me. "Hi. You were absent all day." "Yes, I was walking around." Everything she said was quiet and calm, with no trace of embarrassment or shyness. With no emotions at all, in fact. "We worried about you." Though the only one who was worried was me. "You shouldn't have. But you can't just disappear like that." I tried to smile to make my words not sound like a reproach. "I don't think anybody cares about that." "I care, for one." "Why?" I read surprise in her eyes. "Really?" Because it's not right. No matter how I tried to be perfectly honest, it came out wrong. "Because you like her." "Ah, I see. Okay, I won't do this again." It seemed like this conversation was not interesting to her. Silence followed. I just didn't know what else to say, and Lena seemed to be quite content with silence. "Are you any good?" I finally said, pointing at the racket. "Not very. Didn't you see her like 2 nights ago, not even? Not being good at this? Why did she get better?" That sounded rude. But I don't know. You already know she's not very good at it. "If you want, No, I don't." She walked to the bench and put down her racket and birdie. "Okay." To tell the truth, I did not expect that response. "Want to look at the stars together?" "Yes, of course." Aw, still don't have eyes, so I don't know how I'm looking at the stars, but I sat down beside her. Elena intently studied the sky. Lots of small lights shined above me. Some of them were brighter, some were barely visible. I never really understood what people see in just sitting back and looking at the stars. After all, here on Earth they're just small dots of light, and it's unlikely that many people know what kind of celestial bodies they are, as well as their size and how far away they are from us. Of course, it's so romantic to just enjoy the light of distant stars. For me, it was like staring at a brick wall. It also has its potholes, unevenness in the brickwork, patterns on the stone. Potholes on walls? A stellar sky in miniature. "So, what do you see there?" "Stars," she said mysteriously with her head up. "Yes, I know. I see them too. But what's so special about them?" "I don't know. Seems like they talk to me. There are other people there. There are other people there. They have their own life, probably much better than ours. And they too look at the sky and see Earth, me and you. Voices of the distant stars. I had already heard that somewhere else. You can call it that. Interesting theory. No, the theory is quite common. It's quiet. Common. I know what they mean, though." Lena looked at me. And her eyes disappeared too. Oh god, it's the curse of missing eyes. I don't know. In the dim moonlight, I noticed a small tear rolling down her cheek. Or at least I thought I did. I guess I'm just a more, let's say, practical person. She said nothing, just stared at the sky again. But if you think about it, of course, there's endless interstellar space. Millions of planets, hundreds of galaxies. Hundreds? Hundreds of thousands? It's fascinating. My voice sounded unnaturally excited. Hundreds of thousands, that's just in, like, a hundredth of the... yeah, whatever. My voice sounded unnaturally excited. You don't need to talk about all these things. About what? About this. About everything. No, the stars are really beautiful. Why did you come? Now she was crying for sure. I I was looking for you. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. I just was. You found me. Happy now? Well, I mumbled. Why didn't you go to Elisa? What does she have to do with it? Are you trying to say that it's not about her? Yes, that is exactly what I was saying. Why did you bring this topic up again? I thought we already cleared everything up. Of course, we didn't clear anything up. To be precise, we didn't even start to. However, I don't understand why all of this is necessary. You think I really want to talk about it myself? If you don't, then why? Because... it's because of you. Because of me what? You and Elisa. Me and Elisa what? We don't have a relationship. We don't have anything at all. Don't lie to me. Lena turned away, sobbing quietly. But we don't. We've done everything to get Lena's route, not Elisa's. That's next route. Why is this so important to her? Because she likes you! What else can I say if you don't believe me? Tell me the truth. I've already told you. Then go to her. Why should I go to her? I don't want to go anywhere. Why are you sitting here torturing me? Oh Lord, how am I torturing you? Lena didn't answer. I've been looking for you the entire day, because I was worried. I came here because you're here. I'm sitting here because I want to be here. What don't you understand? She stopped crying for a moment. Is that true? Of course. I mean something to you? Even taking into account all the things I've just said, this question came at me unexpectedly. Not to me, it's quite painfully obvious. Well, yes. If only you could hear yourself now. She cried, got up, and walked briskly towards the exit of the sports ground. Wait. I caught up with her and grabbed her arm, but she pulled out of my grip. Don't touch me. Now Lena was a totally different person. And I couldn't say that she was aggressive, assertive, or super strong-willed. She just has no doubts about what she was doing. Wait. What did I say? That's all true. Save all this nonsense for her. I tried to stop Lena once again, but she glared at me so strongly that I did not dare to argue. Just imagine how I feel. You make up a bunch of stupid things, and now you think that I'm guilty of all mortal sins. Why should you care? I should. Because you... Oh my god, these parts of the story every time. I swear to... I don't know how any girl would ever deal with them. It's like talking to a fucking brick wall. She stopped for a moment and looked at me. It's all lies. In my anger, I banged my forehead on an iron post. You can just beat yourself up here. I had seen Lena be many things, but not ruthless and indifferent. Wait, let's talk calmly. We have nothing to talk about. She crossed the football ground, and I trailed behind, trying in vain to persuade her to listen to me. I don't know why I'm doing all this, to prove that I'm right? So I won't be misunderstood? So I will look better in her eyes? Or is there some other reason? In any case, at that moment, I just felt that it was necessary. We came to the square. Lena was pretty fast. I could barely keep up with her. I had to say something. My head was filled with different options, but nothing suitable. Wait. No answer. Listen. No answer. Usually you don't answer if you're listening to someone. Because you're listening to them. I know. I'm just being stupid now. Will you stop it? No answer. We'll wake the whole camp. So what? What's the difference? Strange, but at that moment I was more worried about our behavior than Lena. She stopped. Thanks for accompanying me. I'll go alone now, Lena said bitterly. You haven't listened to me yet. To me, it seems like I've already listened, several times even. So what do you want from me? Me? From you? Nothing at all. She sounded much more confident than me. There's no trace of doubt in her eyes. What can I say? What can I do? Damn it. I was ready to burst into tears. Don't get so emotional. Nothing happened. Nothing happened? Something definitely happened. You won't lose anything if you pay no attention to me. Let me decide that. No, seriously, why? I swear to God, if you say I don't know. There are many pleasant activities you could choose to do. Well, to be honest, I don't need it anyway. You don't need it. Why do you constantly mention Elisa? Then his face changed. This is none of your business. Get it? No, now it is my business. She looked at me as if she was ready to kill. Don't poke the tiger, dude. Why are you bothering me? You have her, so go to her. She won't refuse, I assure you. Lena started screaming. Her hair disheveled. Disheveled? Is it disheveled? No, it's disheveled. No, it's disheveled. It's like a mix of the two. It's one of those. Her face flushed and her eyes bloodshot. Calm down. I won't go to her. Why would you even think so? Just see, I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. She seemed to calm down a bit. And then she morphed into Elisa. What's going on here? I turned around and saw Elisa lazily chewing a bun. In the wrong place, at the wrong time. This situation is a perfect example. I just froze in surprise, not knowing what to say. But Lena was smarter. Time to pass him on. Catch! Elisa looked surprised. No wonder she hadn't heard the entire conversation. What? I said catch. Within a moment, Lena became like she was before, calm and unruffled. What should I catch? Him. She pointed her finger at me with disgust. He complains about how he loves you, how he cannot live without you, and stuff like that. What? Lisa's eyes popped wide open. Like a cartoon. No, that's all wrong. Lena's just joking. I giggled nervously. Why? That's a great voice for Lena. Why? That's exactly what's happening. I mean, her voice is just mine, but lower and with an accent, apparently. I'm just noticing that. Whatever. Listen, everything has its limits. I said quietly to her. Oh, everything has its limits. Do you want there to be victims? Why? I already suggested to you. I already suggested you should go to her. Those crows were so realistic. They were so good. I actually thought they were in here, and then I realized, no, I'm indoors. I don't know what you're talking about here, but don't involve me. You don't know? Lena said it softly, but her voice had a trace of rage in it. The same thing again. Lisa looked at her frightened. Listen, I understand that you, but I don't know, really. Not a single word, not even a single thought about him, I swear. You don't know? Whoa! What? Lena jumped at her, and before I realized, smashed Elisa with a powerful right hook. Well, there's a twist for you. Well, I'd understand a simple slap, but such a blow could break someone's jaw. Elisa, collapsed and seemed to lose consciousness. What should I do? Wait. I think I still have the guide up. But I believe the guide just said, no, the guide says to help Elisa, so... What are you doing? I ran over to the fallen girl and tried to figure out if she was alive at all. Are you completely out of your mind? If you want me to leave, to shut up, or to do anything else, fine. This is turning into complete madness, into a complete madhouse. Maybe you need a straitjacket so nobody else will get injured. Lena stood, clenching her fist. You can even break your hand with such a blow. You don't understand anything. Tears welled up, flowing down her face, and she fled from the square. It seemed to me that I could still hear Lita sobbing while I was bringing Elisa around. Finally, she came back to consciousness. You alive? You okay? Elisa moved her jaw from right to left. I'll live. I helped her up. I told you about her. Well, that doesn't matter now. You have to get to the infirmary. It's too late for the infirmary. I'll have a good night's rest, and in the morning I'll go there. Okay, then I'll go with you. I can't refuse, Elisa said, trying to give me a smile. All the way, we kept silent. She was probably not really able to talk, and I couldn't find the right words to say. All this was a real shock for me. I found myself a mere spectator of a drama in which I just took on the main part. After the door closed behind Elisa, I stood for a long time and looked at her cabin. What should I do after all this? Fatigue overcame me. I had to sleep. I think Lena is now in a state which she is unlikely to adequately assess reality. Completely broken, I fell down on the bed and drifted to sleep. Is we gonna dream? Nope. Day 7. This is the last day, if I'm not mistaken. It should be. Wait, do I just wake up? Not even, like, no bus or anything? Somehow, I woke up in my apartment. It didn't trigger any emotions at all. Yet another day of my life, that's all. I got out of the bed and went up to the computer. Message window flashed on the taskbar. I sat down and stared at the monitor. Somebody wrote to me, and that means somebody still needs me. The message contained only 2 words. Wake up. What do they want from me? An unknown ID. Is that spam? And what does it mean, wake up? I'm not sleeping anymore. The window still kept flashing. I tried to close it, but failed. Instead, yet another one popped out. And another one. And another one. All of them contained the same, wake up. What the hell do you want from me? I screamed. Soon the whole screen was blazing with identical messages. I couldn't bear it anymore, grabbed it and smashed it against the wall with all my strength. Okay, a phone rang. Strange, who could that be? I picked up the phone and heard just, wake up. On the other end, thousands of voices, men, women, children, were screaming, wake up. I smashed the phone on the floor, but it didn't break and kept ringing. In a moment, the whole room was filled with strangers. They were grabbing my hands, peering into my eyes, and screaming, wake up! Yeah, I thought so. It took me a second. I was like, wait a second. I jumped off my bed in a cold sweat. Huh, what a dream. I came to my senses in a couple of minutes and took a look at the clock. It's 5 p.m. How long have I slept? All the events of yesterday flew through my head. Searching for Lena, the devastating conversation, Elisa defeated. I really have to talk to her. Maybe she cooled down overnight. I dressed up, went out of the cabin, hesitated a little while gathering my thoughts, then headed to Lena's cabin. What shall I say? How do I begin the conversation? I can't just go with, hi, how are you? I was just passing by. There's no way I should lecture her straight off the bat. Not reaching a specific solution, I knocked. Nobody answered. I knocked again, and then pulled on the doorknob. It's not locked. That's odd. However, there was nobody inside. Well, that means Lena's not here. Thanks, Captain Obvious. I'll grab some food. I might find her in the canteen. Going along the rows of cabins, I didn't meet a single pioneer. That's odd, too. It's always crowded here at this time of day. Nobody was at the square, either. Coming up to the canteen, I started to get seriously concerned. It's time for dinner, but there's no sign of the hungry pioneer crowds. If only it was just that. The canteen was closed. Looks, there's a car here. Is this car always here? Looks like something has happened during the day. I sat down on the porch and started to consider the situation. All the pioneers were gone, without any warning. Well, of course, it's hard to say that this camp, or my way of arriving here, is normal, but I hadn't encountered any completely inexplicable stuff during this week, yet. There were lots of strange things, but maybe they're hiding in that bunker. I chuckled aloud. While all this is very, to put it mildly, mysterious, I was nowhere near experiencing a panic attack. No, it's just that they've left. I almost jumped out of my skin. Lena was standing next to me. You can't just sneak up on people like that. Aw, yeah. It's music. You nearly gave me a heart attack. Sorry, she said calmly. Wait, did I say said she calmly? No, I'm just stupid. Now her words dawned on me. Left. Right. Hold on a sec. What do you mean by just left? The session's over. And the camp leader? She had some business to take care of in the town, so she went with them. Okay, and what about you? I stayed. Lynn was talking with complete calmness, as if everything that has happened is completely normal and routine. How? Why is that? What's the problem? When the session's over, the children depart for their homes, don't they? And when was it decided that today is the last day of the session? You won't believe this, but on the very first day. Moreover, Olga announced this at the lineup. Yeah, even at those lineups that I attended, the last thing that crossed my mind was listening to the camp leader's announcements. Then why didn't anyone tell me anything? Waited for a chance to get out of this damn camp for so long, when it finally appeared, I obviously slept through it. Well, that's exactly my style. Yes, it is. I asked them not to. Even if you would ask not to, Olga... Hold on, what? I asked for it, said Lena with the same confidence. And what, you asked them to leave me behind too? Yes. And you don't think that's all a little... absolutely wrong? I started shouting. Nope, it's perfectly normal. I took a good look at Lena. Not a single emotion has crossed her face since the beginning of our talk. Looks like the girl that's standing right in front of me now is not the kind of girl that's afraid of crickets, blushes at every occasion, and reads romance novels. Okay, I got it. Looks like this situation is directly connected to my mystical arrival at this camp. Just, who are you? Me? This morning I was Lena. She replied patiently. Oh, yeah, I know Optimus Prime, born 9 million years ago in the Highlands of Scotland. I wasn't afraid of her, or anything around myself that moment. I was just bursting with anger from within. Nice to meet you. I'm Lena. Okay, now let's get Sorry. Okay, now let's get serious. I think that what you're saying is frankly impossible. Today, as it turns out, is the last day. Somehow I don't know a thing about it, and the camp leader departs with everyone, leaving me behind just because you asked for it. Don't you find that all somewhat abnormal? Maybe I do. Are you hiding something? Maybe I am. Then spit out everything you got. I told you already. I buried my face with my hands and took a deep breath. Okay, what am I supposed to do in this situation? I don't know. And what are you going to do? I don't know. I'll go with the flow. Well, here's the flow. I hissed abruptly, spreading my hands. Just hands. And why are you worrying so much? For the first time, a flicker of interest has appeared on her face. And how do you expect me to feel? Glad? Well, not really, but you yourself wanted it. Me? You're mad. You know, I said yesterday that he cares and that he wants to be with me. She's turned British, it's official. What's that got to do with this? I pretended not to understand, but it was finally starting to dawn on me what she was driving at. Your wish was granted. Yeah, sure. I mumbled under my breath. Well, here I am with you. That doesn't explain in any way what happened. There's always a couple of tricks that could help one succeed. And you... that is how... Yes. A smile across her face. Ahem. If I'd known that you were so cunning from the very beginning. To tell the truth, I kind of like this whole situation. Well, not really liked, but I was curious. Of course, I'm very sorry that I couldn't have escaped with everyone else. However, I'm having a tete-a-tete. What? That... I have not recognized that with Lena now. That might mean that I'll get a chance to see the real her. And all the answers that I was longing for could be right here, and not in some mysterious town which everyone else has headed for. Okay, so what are we gonna do now? We? She smiled. Yeah, we. We're the only ones staying here. The canteen's closed, and I seriously doubt that there's any food left there anyway. Of course, Olga should return in the foreseeable future, but... what does it matter? Okay, it doesn't matter. Any suggestions? What do you want? She asked with a sly smile. I would have grabbed something to eat. And then I don't know. Well, let's go and have something. Where to? There should be some food left in my cabin. Okay, deal. Aw, happy Lena. We went in and Lena rummaged around in the desk drawer. Well, there are cookies. Want some? She handed me a half-open pack of biscuits. Aw, how cute. I sneered. Why? Biscuits. Like in my childhood. I guess. She smiled and sat next to me. Well, I asked with my mouth full. What? So what are we going to do? I don't know. She wistfully gazed out of the window. But what do you want? Really, what do I want? A mere half an hour ago, my only thought was to get away from this damned camp. But now, right here, next to her, something seemed to change. Well, I don't know either. Think harder. She drew herself closer and gazed into my eyes. Well, my face was blushing and my mind was racing. Not just because I was in such extreme proximity to a girl that quite clearly wants something from me. Something. But mainly because that girl was Lena. Well, she studied me closely. Studied? Did I say studied? I said studied. Studied. Lena, What? To say that she didn't look like herself was nothing. I was not afraid of this metamorphosis at all. Rather, I was afraid of myself. What I could do in such situation. Didn't you want to be with me? She whispered it. Oh, didn't you want to be with me? She whispered into my ear, seductively. I did. I do. Then what's the problem? It's also... Besides, I have some other circumstances. What circumstances? She pulled away from me. Way to blow it. Well, various circumstances. You don't prefer, do you? Lena laughed. Hell no. How could you think that? Looks like I blushed even harder. Then what's the problem? Are you sure that you want that? Pronouns! Woo! They're fun! I tried hard to change the subject. After all, just a week ago I had my own normal life. A life where everything was strictly tied up and well organized, and where there was no place for girls. And now I'm in some kind of mysterious camp with Lena sitting next to me, hinting towards something. Ooh. Something naughty. How should I behave in such a situation? Yes. She frowned. Of course I do. What's the problem? Well, it's my... the elephant in the room. I was behaving like I wasn't even 17, which was how I looked now. As if I was much younger. I gotta say, when I was 18, I looked like I was 17. They didn't look the same. Mine too. Mine too. Wait, what? My and mine too. There's something in that I'm not getting. And I'm thinking I'm getting it, but I'm not going to say. She smiled. I had to decide what to do next, now, after the session was closed, and all the pioneers were gone. I had to seek the answers. Above all, I just had to beware that this girl that could change her behavior and even her character so easily at will. But at that exact moment, I was possessed by only one thought. Oh, what the hell. Ooh, we'll see if they get naughty in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.